Lion Brand coming back at us with some glow-in-the-dark yarn this year. Okay, before I get into the ins and outs of this review, things that I love, things that I hate, we need to know that I love glow-in-the-dark yarn. Like, it does not matter what the weight, what the size, what the fiber content is. I will snag it all up, one in every color. Use it for accessories, mittens, hats, literally everything. Honestly, there's just something about glow-in-the-dark anything, really, that radiates spookiness, really gives that Halloween feel. So here are the two things that I want to see out of a glow-in-the-dark yarn. Does it glow and like actually glow, not just like a faint little bit of glowing? And is it soft? Also, is it fun to work with? But I kind of have to take that one out because, again, refer back to I love it. So no matter what, I'm gonna make it work. Really am excited about this yarn because if ever we had the opportunity to win both of those, glow in the dark and soft, this would be the yarn. So this is from Lion Brand Yarns DIY Glow Chenille yarn. First things first, loving the colors. Like these two colors. Okay, so there is 4 colors. And these are just fine. But these two, yes, this is everything I want to see. Slimy green and a witchy purple. Like that's what I want to see. This style of yarn, it'll glow. Even just like the faintest, it will glow. So I'm not worried about this one. This one, however, I'm kind of confused. So the name is Gray, which they didn't get very like creative with the names. I feel like it's a missed opportunity, but that's fine. I'll let it go. I don't think I've ever seen this in a glow-in-the-dark yarn form. Gray. But, you know, I had to try one of each. So here we are. We have gray. This one is called Glowworm. And in fairness, they do have another color that is called Glowworm. So we got that there. Pearl and purple. So Glowworm is literally the only one that was super fun. I guess if I'm having to choose between the 4, that is the one that I would go to. Like if this works out really well, this is what I'm gonna stock up on. Okay, so what do we have? This is a 50-gram skein of yarn. Again, very small. It's kind of like a thing with glow-in-the-dark yarn. 50 grams is pretty much all I see. 32 yards, 100% polyester, and machine wash and dryable. That makes me so happy because that just means that my appliques, my beanies, my mittens, like a little bit of glow in the dark fluffiness on a mitten, I'm gonna be able to throw them in wash in the dryer. Will I hand wash them? Yes I will, but I prefer items like that I'm using often and they're gonna get washed often. I would much more prefer to throw them in the wash and the dryer. So that wins a point for me right here. For the sensory, like how does it feel? It's a little crunchy, I'm gonna say that. So it's not soft. It's a chenille yarn, which, you know, it does have a ton of fluff on here. It just has that feel that every glow-in-the-dark yarn has, where there's just something a little bit off. It almost feels like there's residue on your fingers after you touch it. Kind of soft, but it might be an issue as I'm working up with it in the long run. So 50 grams, like I could power through that very quickly. And even if it was a little bit off-putting to me, I could do 50 grams at a time. Like that would be totally fine. Now, if I were to sit down and do an entire cardigan and it was a little bit weird, that would definitely take me a lot longer. But we'll see. I'll test it out here. There is a little thing to scan right here. I'm curious if there's actually patterns out already. I would love that. No, it just goes directly to the Lion Brand site, DIY Glow Yarn. Oh, but this yarn is on sale right now. So it initially is $6.99 for one skein of yarn. It is on sale for $4.89. Do they have all the colors though? Because sometimes that's the next thing. So there's only 4 colors. Yes, all 4 colors at this moment in time are available and they're on sale. This is one of those things that is going to sell out. Like it doesn't matter like what the reviews are, this yarn is going to sell out because people like to use this, like especially like me. Like I like having a little bit of glow in the dark yarn in some of my patterns. The closer we get to Halloween, it's going to sell out. I would love to be wrong about that. Like if we get up to October and you're like, Kayla, you were wrong, they have an entire stockpile of it, that's perfect. I would absolutely be so fine with being wrong about this. However, I've seen this happen every single year. So they had another line, which was a cotton DIY glow, and that's exactly what happens. We see it around June, July, August, August and then nothing. They come out with patterns with it, but they don't have any in stock, and for surely you can't find it in stores. I am gonna say, regardless of how I feel about it, this one, the glowworm, I'm stocking up on this. Actually, probably this one too. I just like these two together. Maybe this gray will surprise me and I'll love it, and then I'll get some more of that. The pearl yarn is totally fine, but I prefer the purple and the glowworm. Another thing I'm curious about, as I'm working this up, is it gonna fluff up a little bit? Because it just has that strand running through it and it's flat on both sides. So it's like squished and there's actually a little edge to it. It is a bulky number 6 and they're suggesting a 10mm crochet hook. I feel like that's kind of too big. I would probably use an 8, maybe even a 6. Now, if it does fluff up, that makes sense to have a 10 because you don't want to squish it down and you want to give it a little bit of moment to breathe. However, if I'm making like a stuffy or something like that, I'm gonna knock it down a couple of millimeters anyways. So I don't know, I'm gonna take this as like a guideline. I'll try it with a 10, but then I'll also try it with an 8 and a 6. I feel like I would like those a little bit better. Okay, so let's do that next. Let's test all 4 of these out. I have a 10, a 6, and an 8. Let's start with the suggested one. I still think it's too big. Can I get it from the middle? I don't know. Oh, that's not terrible. Wait, I didn't even find the end. Maybe it is bad. Oh gosh, okay. Since it's so small, I think I would just take the band off and then put this whole thing in a yarn bowl. And do I have a yarn bowl around here? Somewhere, real quick. Yeah, just throw it in there like that without the band instead of pulling from the middle. So I'll do that with the next one. Let's see if I can fluff it up a little bit. No, it's just staying exactly how it is. Okay, running on my hands, it feels okay. It still has that same like sticky feeling, but it's not terrible. It's smooth on the crochet hook. I mean, just like any chenille yarn should be. I'm gonna do the world's biggest granny square here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I would actually sit down and work with it for quite a while. Do I think that I need a 10 though? I still am not convinced that I need a 10. Let's go to the next one and try the, what do I have? 8. Let's try 8. Okay, starting with gray. No, let's do purple. Okay. Squish it up a little bit. Pop it in the yarn bowl. There we go. Do I like that better? Yes, I love that so much better. That is how I'm going to go about it now. Also, do I love that color combo? Yes. Did I do that on purpose? Absolutely. 8mm. Okay, cool. Immediately feels better. Like, look at those chains. That looks so much better. The other one just looked really, really loose. Do I have any of it left? No, I just undid it. But you saw, they were a little bit big. And it does depend on what I want to do with it though. So if I don't mind having huge spaces in between every single stitch, that might be fine. Personally though, I'm thinking 8 looks wonderful. Let's try 6 though, since I have it out. With, which one should I do? How about this one, the pearl? Obviously I just don't know what to do with the gray. It's like the last one to try, the last one that I know what I'm gonna do with it. These other ones, spider webs. Yeah, all 3 of these, spider webs. Gray one, I don't know. Like the strand was on the inside and the outside. Wow, that's a huge mess. Okay. So both the inside strand and the outside strand was tucked in here. Bit annoying. If I would have slowed down and actually paid attention to it, that would not have happened though. So user error. Okay, this one is a little tight. Yeah. I thought this would be the winner, but no, I think 8 for me. That's what I'm going to reach for. Yeah, that's a bit much. This is like if I want to make a stuffy, I am going to make some spider webs. Should I just do it with all of them? Well, like all together, maybe it'll look fine. First up, we have Pearl This one is glowing as well as I thought it was going to. Nice and vibrant. And for the most part, all of the yarn is glowing. Like there's little parts here and there that probably just didn't get sun as well as the other parts did. Next is the green, which isn't glowing quite as well. Even the parts that are super vibrant are not quite as bright as the pearl. Sadly, this is the purple. I had high hopes for this. I don't know if I needed to leave it out longer. Lastly, the gray, which is not glowing at all in the slightest. Maybe I'll try letting it set out longer next time in the sun, but it's 98 degrees here. Super sunny. There wasn't any shade where I laid it. It was just direct sunlight. So yeah, I'm thinking this one just doesn't work. Sadly, this did not end up being one of my favorite glow-in-the-dark yarn lines. If I wanted to use this for its glowing ability, pearl is obviously the color that I would go with. However, I am going to be stocking up on some of the slimy green color just because I love the color, and even though it didn't glow quite as bright as this one, it still glowed a little bit. I can see myself making totes with this, maybe cardigans, adding it to accessories just for the fact that I love the color. So even if there's just a tiny bit of glow in the dark to it, I'm still gonna keep this one around. However, the purple, I do have other glow in the dark yarn that's almost this exact same color and does a little bit better job glowing, so I think this is gonna be a pass for me. And the gray really didn't do much of anything, so that is also a pass for me. But I am gonna keep playing around with these two colors, experimenting with stitches, obviously playing around with different patterns. The pearl, I am going to work up many, many more spider webs. I just think it's kind of a classic to have for decor. So I have a skein and a half left of this. I will just keep on making spider webs with this one. Well, let me know what you think. Are you excited about using this yarn? Have you tried it yourself? If you have, leave me a pumpkin emoji in the comments down below and let me know what your thoughts are. For now, I'm gonna let you ghouls go. So again, have a fantastically spooky rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.